Hey everyone, I'm 10 News reporter Adam Racusin, and we're walking you through the races and propositions ahead of the upcoming election. To help me sort through everything is political analyst Ruben Barrales. Thanks for being with us.
Glad to be here, Adam.
Right now we are talking Proposition 10. This is rent control, or what people look at as rent control. It would expand local government's authority to enact rent control. Tell us a little bit about this proposition, pros, cons.
Sure. So Proposition 10 addresses one of the biggest issues for most Californians today, the cost of living. So that's the approach that the proponents have put out there, saying that their solution is providing rent control at the local level. Right now in California, only a handful of jurisdictions are able to impose rent control, and state legislation has since not allowed local governments to impose rent control. Prop 10 would allow local governments to impose rent control. Again, the proponents saying that's going to help address the cost of living, the cost of housing. Those against Prop 10 are saying, no, it's going to have the opposite effect. It's going to basically create a system where less housing is built, because rent control will create less of an incentive for developers to build affordable housing. And so they're saying Prop 10 will actually make the cost of housing in California even worse. And those are really the arguments going back and forth. Today, the opponents seem to be winning the day. Remember, most measures, it's easier to get a no vote than a yes vote. And the proponents of it have spent less money than the opponents. So the yes side has spent less money than the no side. And we're finding it interesting that even though it was very popular at the beginning, it seems as though most California voters are settling on the no side in terms of the latest polling that I've seen. And I think what's happened is the opponents have been very effective in making the argument that this is not going to help, it's going to hurt the issue of housing affordability.
There's been a lot of money that's spent on this proposition. We see the television ads running constantly for it.
Right.
If it did pass, this would not mean that there is automatically rent control in California.
No, it wouldn't allow, it would allow for local jurisdictions to decide whether or not to impose rent control. The opponents are saying, well, again, that's going to be a problem. It's going to create bureaucracies that will be in charge of housing and make homeowners be more of a burden on homeowners themselves. And they're saying basically it's not going to provide much more affordable housing for renters.
Housing, a hot topic coming up in the election. You will have the final say Tuesday, November 6th.
Stay connected. ABC 10 News election coverage on your Roku, Amazon Fire, and Android TV.